Campaigning is underway in Hong Kong for the city's Legislative Council election, which will take place on December 19th. It will be the first time Hong Kongers will be voting for members of the city's legislature since a dramatic overhaul of the electoral system earlier in the year. Because of these changes, the number of seats directly elected by Hong Kong people is just a fraction of the previous Legco. It used to have 70 seats. 35 lawmakers were directly elected by Hong Kong residents from 5 geographical constituencies, while 35 were chosen from trade-based functional constituencies. In May, local lawmakers passed a bill based on a resolution by the central government to reshape the electoral system that included changes to the makeup of Legco. It now has 90 seats. 20 are to be elected by the general population, 30 will be chosen by functional constituencies, and 40 from the election committee, a powerful body packed with pro-establishment figures who were given expanded powers as part of that electoral system overhaul. That means the number of Legco seats directly elected by regular people has dropped from 50 to 18%. The election committee's main task used to be limited to selecting Hong Kong's leader, the chief executive. Now it will not only hand-pick 40 representatives to send to Legco, but it also has a huge say on which candidates can run for the other seats. Under the revamped system, anyone who wants to run for a seat must first secure between 2 to 4 nominations from each of the election committee's 5 sectors. They also need to be vetted by a newly established candidate review committee, which receives information from the National Security Police. So what does all this mean? The Hong Kong government says overhauling the electoral system was necessary to meet Beijing's bottom line that only patriots should be allowed to govern the city. During the last Legco session, the establishment accused lawmakers from the opposition camp of trying to sabotage and paralyze the government. Many were either ousted from their seats or resigned in protest at the decision to expel their colleagues. The opposition says the new rules were designed to stifle dissent and have chosen not to stand for any Legco seats in this election. But there are about a dozen centrist or moderate candidates who will be running. Hong Kong's Chief Secretary John Lee says this shows there is still a mix of candidates under the new rules, which proves balanced representation. The electoral revamp has raised some big questions for the upcoming Legco polls. Are voters aware of what constituency they now live in after the boundaries were redrawn as part of the overhaul? Are Hong Kongers aware of the issues that the candidates in their constituencies are campaigning on? And with the opposition boycotting the vote and the distribution of seats in Legco changed to ensure a pro-establishment majority, how many voters are actually going to show up and cast their ballots on polling day?